In the wake of the Taliban's takeover, there were whispers of a new Afghanistan, an Afghanistan of peace and progress. The unveiling of the country's first sports car, the Model 9, was hailed as a symbol of this new era. Built over 5 years by a team of 30 engineers and designers, this vehicle was poised to serve as an ambassador for Afghanistan, conveying the value of knowledge to its people. But beneath the surface, a different, more harrowing reality was unfolding. The country's economy had collapsed, shrinking by 20 to 30% within a year of the Taliban's takeover. Daily life was described as a frozen hell, with over 1 million Afghans fleeing their homeland. Moreover, the United Nations reported over 200 extrajudicial killings of former Afghan government officials and security forces since the Taliban took control. These violations of human rights were widespread, spanning all 34 provinces of Afghanistan. The most targeted groups were former army, police, and intelligence forces. The Taliban's initial promise of a general amnesty for those linked to the former government and international forces was not upheld. The Taliban-led Afghan Foreign Ministry dismissed these reports, denying any knowledge of human rights violations committed by their officials. Yet, the evidence was irrefutable, with instances of forced disappearance, arbitrary arrests and detentions, and torture and ill treatment documented in the report. So, to return to our initial question, did peace really come to Afghanistan with the Taliban? The unveiling of a sports car and the claims of a new era of progress stand in stark contrast to the reality of a collapsed economy, widespread human rights violations, and a life described as a frozen hell. The key points to remember are: the unveiling of Afghanistan's first sports car, the Model 9, was presented as a symbol of progress, despite the country's dire economic situation. The economy of Afghanistan had collapsed, shrinking by 20 to 30% within a year of the Taliban's takeover. There were over 200 extrajudicial killings of former Afghan government officials and security forces since the Taliban came to power. Human rights violations were widespread, and the Taliban's promise of a general amnesty was not upheld. Despite the Taliban's denial, evidence of forced disappearance, arbitrary arrests and detentions, and torture and ill treatment were documented. In the face of these facts, it's clear that the narrative of peace and progress under the Taliban's rule is more complex and challenging than it may initially appear.